There comes a time in your life when you're stuck in a traffic jam and you feel you can see only red lights all around. That's when Ashok came into my life like a ray of hope. He saw my predicament and he said, Unni, you need to come to this place. It can change your life. I had nothing to look forward to at that time, so I thought, why not give it a try? The next day, I go to that place, 20 people sitting there, eyes filled with vigor and enthusiasm. I quietly go and sit next to Ashok. Man, was he glad to see me. I sit there nervous, waiting for something to happen. That's when Jesse walks up. Now, Jesse is a tall and confident man. He walks up to the dais and says, do you want to be successful? He said, yeah, 20 of them cry in unison. Here's your golden opportunity. He walks up to the whiteboard and he writes, you can change lives. I sat up. That was interesting. He continued to draw a very elaborate diagram. Now this had nice cute figures, icons, and they had links, and it kind of formed a chain. But I had a doubt here. Jesse, what are you trying to sell? He looked at me and said, it's a magnetic bed. What does it do? Well, it's soft, it's good for spondylitis, and it can cure cancer. My dear fellow Toastmasters, and yes, of all the preposterous cures for cancer, this one took the cake. But that time I was very vulnerable. So I decided to be a multi-level marketing entrepreneur, MLM. From that day onwards, I started seeing people as links in my chain. Friends, relatives, colleagues, they all appeared as nice, cute icons in my diagram. But then slowly these links dried up and people started shunning me. That's when I started preying on my near and dear ones. My father was a modest man. But I went up and built a very rosy picture. Dad, this is a perfect retirement scheme for you. Better, you'll get checks coming at home. My father took the bait. But my links were incomplete still. My wife was actually unemployed those days, but she had collected some tidy amount to buy a VCR. Now, a VCR is a box-like gadget into which you put a box-like tape and you can play your favorite movie. No, it's not an MP4. No, it's not a DVD. Okay. You want to find out more about it, you can go to the museum and see. Yes, now to get that money out of my wife is like taking a bone from a Rottweiler. But I mustered courage and walked up to her and I said, you are the most beautiful face in the world. I wish I could capture it in the camera. The woman in her cracked up. I made my next move. If we can buy a camera along with a VCR, we can play, record and play it. I had the perfect scheme for it. My wife fell for it, hook, line and sinker. Again, my links was incomplete. I just needed one more person. I racked my brain, I tried to poach on others, but I failed miserably. And finally, I called it quits. I went up to Ashok and said, look, I can't do it anymore. Ashok said nothing. He just took out 2 checks and waved at me. And he said, do you know why I have not encashed this? Because the bank has not done processing my earlier ones. I went back home and I thought, I have to do it. I have to get that person. Who could be that? Just, no, Jitu. Jitu and I are stamp collectors. They call it philately, but lately we've been at loggerheads. I hate him, but I'll get it. Jitu stood looking at my priceless stamp collection. He looked up at me and said, what do you want to become? Jitu, you can change lives. Jitu is a person who did not care for lives. He only cared for stamps. And so I got it. And I finally got to complete my legs and my chain and this beautiful diagram. And I waited for the checks to come in. That's when I get a frantic call from Ashok. Only we are in trouble. The company is folded up and you have to abscond. Abscond? Abscond from whom? My father, my wife? I realized that greed had brought me to this state. greed, and I had to do, this whole thing felt like a pack of cards in front of me. And that's when the entrepreneur in me had given up, and I moved on to do many other things in life. Friends, you know, each of us would have had events which you would have want to erase from your memory. This is one of them, and I had erased it from my memory until a few days back I came across this scribble book of mine in which I had written all those names of people whom I had badgered for money, checks that I could never encash, and this beautiful diagram. This beautiful diagram, and I looked at it and I felt, why did it fail? What a waste of time. And then I thought, something clicked in me. This word greed, if we could replace this word greed with love, with goodness. What if our motive was to do good and not to actually earn money? Years back, I had read a book called Magnificent Obsession. It's written by Lloyd C. Douglas. It's a very fairly simple book, like a pot boiler, but it had a very interesting character. The central character was one who would do good to others, and those who benefited from them, he would ask them not to pay back, but to pay forward. So friends, my dear fellow hitchhikers, travelers, here's your quintessential salesman. And here's my sales pitch. You can change lives. And what is the product you want to sell? 2. Happiness and knowledge. And if you can do good business, I promise you, not a BMW, but a beautiful journey through this fantastic galaxy called life. Thank you.